You know how we always try to just push away bad feelings? Ignore them, hope they go away. Well, what if the best solution is actually the most direct one? Today, we're going to explore the science behind a really simple but powerful fix for those difficult emotions.
Oh, you know the feeling, right? Nothing is catastrophically wrong, but there's just this low-grade hum of negativity you can't seem to shake. You're not even sure what to call it.
Maybe you just call it feeling upset or being in a bad mood. But whatever you call it, it's this vague, nagging feeling that's so frustrating because you can't quite put your finger on it.
All right, so let's dig into this. What is this common, kind of mysterious feeling that we all go through?
It turns out we get stuck in these feelings for a reason. They're so poorly defined that our brain just doesn't have enough information to figure out what to do. It's like you're lost in a thick fog with no map and no compass.
So, what's the fix? What's the map that gets us out of the fog? Well, it's not about ignoring the feeling. It's about getting really specific. And it all comes down to the surprising power of words.
There's a name for this. It's called affect labeling. It's literally the simple act of putting your feelings into words. Researchers also call it developing emotional granularity. You know, the ability to get really precise about your emotions. So instead of just feeling bad, you might realize you feel disappointed or anxious or maybe ashamed. And that little bit of precision, it makes all the difference.
And the benefits are huge. I mean, look at this. Studies show that people who are better at this experience less severe anxiety and depression. They're also way less likely to do things like binge drink or lash out at people. And it makes sense, right? When you can accurately describe what you're feeling, you have way more information to decide what's actually going to help you.
Now, if you're a little skeptical, I get it. It sounds almost too simple to be true. But there's this landmark study from UCLA that provides some incredible proof. And yeah, it involves tarantulas.
Okay, so here's how it worked. Researchers found 88 people who were pretty scared of spiders. First, to get a baseline, they had them approach a live tarantula in an open container. Then, they split them into 4 groups and had them sit in front of another tarantula, but each group got different instructions. A week later, everyone came back to face that first spider again.
Now, this is the crucial part. The first group used affect labeling. They said things out loud like, "I feel anxious that the disgusting tarantula will jump on me." They leaned into the fear. The second group tried to reappraise or reframe the situation, saying, "Looking at the little spider is not dangerous for me." The other 2 groups were told to either distract themselves or just say nothing at all.
So what happened a week later? The results were, honestly, they were stunning. This chart shows the change in their physical fear response, basically how much their hands were sweating. You'd think the group that told themselves the spider wasn't dangerous would do the best, right? But look at this. The only group that showed a significant decrease in fear was the one that named it. In fact, the groups that tried to rationalize or distract themselves actually had a slight increase in their fear. Crazy.
The takeaway was crystal clear. The people who put their fear into specific emotional words were able to physically get closer to the spider, and their bodies were measurably calmer. They didn't fight the feeling, they just named it. And by naming it, they tamed it.
Okay, so we know it works. But the big question is why? What is actually going on inside our brains when we do this? Well, for that, we need to take a quick peek under the hood.
So first up, let's meet your amygdala. This is a key part of your brain's emotional center, and you can basically think of it as your alarm system. When it spots a threat, whether it's a spider or just a stressful email, it fires up, triggering that whole fight or flight response.
But you also have a prefrontal cortex. This is the more evolved thinking part of your brain. It handles all the complex stuff like logic, language, and self-control. It's the braking system to the amygdala's alarm.
And this is where it all clicks into place. A groundbreaking neuroimaging study found that when people put their feelings into words, something amazing happens. The amygdala, the alarm, actually quiets down. And at the exact same time, the prefrontal cortex, the braking system, lights up with activity.
You see what's happening? It's this incredible inverse relationship. This simple act of labeling an emotion kicks the thinking part of your brain into gear, and that in turn pumps the brakes on your emotional reaction. You're literally shifting brain activity from your emotional centers to your logical ones.
Now, this is way more than just a cool science fact. It's a practical tool that you can use every single day. So, how do we actually get better at this?
Think of it like you're building out an emotional toolkit. You can actively learn new words for emotions to expand your vocabulary beyond just sad or angry. You can try doing quick emotional check-ins throughout your day. Journaling is a fantastic way to practice. And one researcher, Lisa Feldman Barrett, suggests becoming a collector of experiences. Reading books, trying new things, anything to build a richer understanding of different human emotions.
And get this, it seems that naming an emotion doesn't just reduce its intensity, it might even give it a lifespan. One study that looked at Twitter found that once a negative emotion is actually expressed, it tends to last for about an hour and a half before it starts to fade away.
So it seems that all the old wisdom to just get over it or push through it might have it all wrong. The path to feeling better isn't around the emotion, but right through it, armed with one simple, powerful tool, the right word. So the next time that vague, nagging, off feeling shows up, what will you call it?